Students, welcome again to HGM College Karad. We were discussing about the chapter solid state. Students, in the last lecture we have determined the packing efficiency of two types of solids, that is simple cubic and face centered cubic lattice. Okay. Now in that we have seen that the packing efficiency of the metal crystals in simple cubic lattice is only 52.36% and packing efficiency in face centered cubic lattice is 74%. Now today we will determine the packing efficiency of metal crystals in body centered cubic lattice, that is BCC lattice. Before that, you must know the arrangement of particles in body centered cubic lattice. We know very well that the particles in BCC unit cell are present at the 8 corners. See, these are the corner atoms. Okay, and one particle is present at the center of the body. Now I will show this arrangement of particles on the board in the figure. See, this is a cube. Now, if you have to represent it as a BCC unit cell, what you have to do? You will show the 8 corner particles like this. Okay, and you will show one particle within the body of this unit cell, right? Now, you have to select any 2 corner particles. While selecting that corner particles, take the precaution that one corner particle should be lying if at the lower face corner. Then, that is this, suppose I select this corner particle, then you have to select the another particle just opposite to that corner, which is lying on the back side face, but that corner should be the upper corner. So here I have selected 2 lattice points or particles. One is lying at the lower corner of the front side face. See, this is a front face. Okay, and I have selected the upper corner particle at the back side face. That is, you have to select if this point, then you will select this point. Through these points you can draw a diagonal. I will show that diagonal in this manner. So this diagonal now represents the body diagonal of this cube. Now I will show the particles present on this body diagonal. Again you observe that in body centered cubic lattice, the corner particles are not touching with each other. There is a void in between that corner particles. But the corner particles are touching to the particle which is present at the center of this body. So I will show that same arrangement on the board. Let's see, suppose at this corner the particle is shown in this manner. Then the another particle, corner particle, will be shown here. Now I will show the particle at the center of body, and that particle is touching to these 2 particles. So let's see that particle. Have you got the arrangement of particles in BCC lattice? Corner particles are not touching with each other, but they are touching to the particle which is present at the center of this cubic lattice or unit cell. Now let the radius of this corner particle or any particle is r. So the radius of this particle is r. Again the radius of center particle is again r. This radius will be r. Okay, and this particle will have the radius r. Now I will label these particles as A. This corner particle is labeled as A. Here this corner will be labeled as B, then C and D. Okay. Now I will draw a face diagonal along this face. Okay. Have you got this figure properly? Now again we know that the edge length of this cubic lattice is denoted by A. This edge length will be again A. Okay. Now using this figure we will determine the packing efficiency of this BCC lattice. Now yesterday we have seen the 4 steps to determine that packing efficiency. Which one is the first step? Yes. In the first step we have determined the radius of sphere. And in order to determine this radius, that is r, of any sphere or particle, first consider the triangle ACB. In triangle ACB, you will observe that the angle ACB is of 90 because this is a cubic lattice. All the angles are of 90. Angle ACB is equal to 90 degree, and therefore we can apply a Pythagoras theorem to this triangle. So according to Pythagoras theorem, we can write AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square. Okay. Now what is AC? AC is the edge length of this cube, and therefore it will be A square plus BC is also the edge length. Therefore you can write here BC square is equal to A square, and that's why you can obtain this relation AB square is equal to 2A square. Now in order to determine the radius of the sphere, we will consider the triangle ABD. Okay. Now let's see. In triangle ABD, again the angle ABD is of 90 degree. Though it is not looking here 90, but remember well, this angle is also of 90 degree, and therefore again you can apply a Pythagoras theorem. According to this theorem, again you can write AD square is equal to AB square plus BD square. Now, what is AD? See, it is the sum of radii of all these particles. So here r plus r plus r plus r. So it will become 4r. 4r square is equal to AB square. Now we have determined here the value of AB square. It is 2A square plus BD square. It will be A square. And that's why you will get here 4r square is equal to 3A square. Now if you take a square root of on both sides of this equation, what will you get? 4r is equal to root 3a. Okay, and therefore we can write r is equal to root 3 upon 4 into a. So this relation gives the radius of sphere. Now we will take here the second step. In the second step, what we have to do? We have to find the volume of sphere. What is the volume of sphere? Yesterday we have seen it. It is equal to 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Now insert the value of r in this equation. What will you get here? 4 upon 3 into pi into root 3 upon 4 a cube. Okay? Now simplify it. Cube of root 3 will be 3 root 3 and cube of 4, it will be 64 into a cube. Okay. Now again simplify it. What will you get here? 4 ones are 4. Here 16, 3 and 3 will get cancelled. Then you will obtain the relation as root 3 upon 16 into pi a cube. So this relation gives the volume of single sphere. Okay. Now, in the third step, determine the total volume of particles. Total volume of particles or total volume of spheres. And how it is determined? By knowing the number of particles in the crystal lattice. We know that here, since there is a BCC arrangement of particles, the number of particles are 2. So the total volume of particles will become 2 into volume of single sphere. Multiplied by root 3 upon 16 into pi a cube. So you will get here root 3 upon 8 into pi a cube. Now let's see the last step, fourth step. In the fourth step, we are determining the packing efficiency. And how it is determined? We know the formula to determine the packing efficiency. Packing efficiency is equal to volume occupied by the spheres in the unit cell divided by total volume of unit cell multiply it by 100. Okay. So the total volume of spheres in the unit cell, we have determined it. It is root 3 upon 8 pi a cube. Upon total volume of the unit cell. Again we know it. It is a cube. Multiply it by 100. Now what you obtain here? Root 3 upon 8 into pi, right, into 100. If you put the values of root 3 and pi in this equation and do the calculation, you will obtain the value as 68%. Okay. So the total volume occupied by the particles in PCC lattice is only 68%. That is, packing efficiency of body centered cubic lattice is of 68%. So what will be the volume of fluids in this unit cell? Obviously it will be 100 minus 68, that will be equal to 32%. Okay. In this manner, here we have determined the packing efficiency in body centered unit cell. Now we will see the next point, that is calculation of number of particles in x gram of metal. If you have given a metal and the mass of that metal is x gram, then how will you calculate the number of particles, that is atoms, present in that metal? And for that purpose, you must know this relation. We have derived this relation, rho is equal to Nm upon Na into Aq. This is a relation between density, molar mass and the age length of the unit cell. We have derived this equation. Here this rho indicates density of the substance, N indicates the number of particles, capital M is the molar mass of that substance, Na is the Avogadro's number and A is the age length of that unit cell. Now from this equation you can find the value of M. So M is equal to rho into Na into A cube divided by N. Right? Now this is a molar mass of substance, and we know that the molar mass of any substance contains Avogadro's number of particles. So here we can write, since the molar mass, that is capital M, contains Avogadro's number of particles, means Na number of particles, then how many particles will be present in x gram of metal? We can find, therefore x gram metal will contain how many particles? See, x into Na divided by capital M. Now we will insert the value of M from this equation. X into Na divided by capital M, rho into Na into A cube divided by N. If you simplify it, you will obtain the relation as X into N divided by rho into A cube. Okay. So by using this relation, you can easily find the number of particles present in x gram of metal. Now You can also find the number of unit cells present in X gram of metal. See how the calculation is done. Number of unit cells in X gram metal. We know that if the number of particles in the unit cell are n, then we can say that n particles present in the unit cell will correspond to one unit cell. But we know that X gram of metal contains Xn into rho A cube. This much number of particles, and therefore we will write here Xn into rho upon rho into A cube number of particles will correspond to how many unit cells. How they are calculated? See, Xn upon rho into A cube into 1 divided by n. Here you will get X upon rho into A cube. This n and this n will get cancelled. So, number of unit cells in X gram of metal, they will be determined by using this relation, and the number of particles in X gram of metal are determined by using this relation. If you observe these two relations, you will get the idea that both relations are nearly same to each other. Only the difference is that if you have to count the number of particles, you have to multiply this numerator by n, and when you have to calculate the number of unit cells present in this X gram metal, then don't multiply it by n. So remember well these two relations, because the numericals are always asked on the basis of these relations. One more relation is there. See here, if here in these two relations we have supplied the mass of metal, but if they give the volume of metal, then how the number of unit cells are determined? Let us see the third relation, that is calculation of number of unit cells in volume V of metal. In volume V of metal. A very simple relation is there. Number of unit cells in volume V is equal to given volume of that unit cell, that is V, upon the volume of single unit cell. And we know that the volume of single unit cell is A cube. Okay, total volume, that is given volume upon the volume of single unit cell. So by using this simple relation, you can find the number of unit cells in the given volume of metal. Now see how the numericals are asked in exam. I will take one numerical. I will write that numerical. Niobium is the metal which forms BCC structure. It is body centered cubic structure. The density of niobium is given. the density of niobium, the symbol for niobium is Nb, is 8.55 gram per cm cube. Okay. And the length of unit cell H and the length of unit cell H is 330.6 picometer. Okay. Now the question is asked, how many atoms and unit cells are present in 0.5 gram niobium. Once again, I will read this numerical. See, niobium forms BCC structure. The density of this niobium is 8.55 gram per cm cube and the length of unit cell H is 330.6 picometer. How many atoms and unit cells are present in 0.5 gram of niobium? Now let's see or write the given data. Here, since niobium crystallizes in BCC type of structure, we can write N, that is number of particles, as 2. You will write here the reason, since BCC structure. Okay. Again, density of niobium is given 8.55 gram per cm cube. The edge length is also given. It is 330.6 picometer. In the previous examples, I have told you that whenever the edge length is given in picometer, you have to convert it in centimeter because the density is given in CGS units. And how it is determined? 1 picometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 10 centimeter. So from this relation, you can write it is equal to 330.6 into 10 raised to minus 10 centimeter, or you can write it as 3.306 into 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter. Okay. Now one more factor is given, that is the mass of that unit cell, mass of that niobium crystal, that is 0.5 gram. And what you have to find? We have to find the number of atoms in 0.5 gram of niobium and also number of unit cells in 0.5 gram of niobium. Now we know the relations. Number of atoms I will write here. Number of atoms in x gram metal. What is the relation? It is equal to x into n divided by density rho into A cube. Okay. So insert the values in this equation. X is 0.5, number of particles are 2, density is given as 8.55 and the edge length is given as 3.306 into 10 raised to minus 8. You have to make a cube of this. Okay. Now if you insert the values in this equation and do the calculation by log table, you will find here I will simplify it first. 1 upon 8.55 into the cube of 3.306. It is 36.133. You multiply it by the cube of 10 raised to minus 8, and the cube is 10 raised to minus 24. After doing the calculation, you will find the answer as 3.24 into 10 raised to 21. So, these are the number of atoms of niobium present in 0.5 gram. Now, we have to calculate the number of unit cells. And for that purpose, we will use this relation, number of unit cells in x gram metal is equal to x upon rho into AQ. Again, I will put the values in this equation. Here, the density is 8.55. Multiply it by the edge length, cube of edge length. By doing the calculation, you will find the value as 1.62 into 10 raised to 21. So, these are the number of unit cells in that 0.5 gram of niobium, and here this answer is indicating the number of niobium atoms. Have you got? In this manner, so many numericals are given in your textbook. Practice for these numericals. Try to do the calculation by using a log table, and here we have completed the packing efficiency of the metal in the crystal lattice. In the next lecture, we will discuss the crystal defects or imperfections. Thank you.